Hi, everybody. Welcome to season 2 of What's on My Mind with Sydney. I am Sydney, your host. We are in a new location. Last season, I didn't have any video, so we have video this time. Hi. If it's your first time ever seeing my face, my name is Sydney. I'm the host of What's on My Mind. If you've seen my face before, you're seeing it in a new way through the podcast realm. Yeah, that's right. This is my podcast. Welcome to it. So, what's on my mind? Episode 1 is recap, rebrand, and reset. I started What's on My Mind back in 2024. And then after about 18 to 20 episodes, I just kind of lost momentum. I got really busy with work and, side hustles and life and, all of the fun things that we do. And this kind of hit the back burner. I kind of lost momentum on what my topics should be and just everything in between. And I decided, since this was a passion project, that if I wasn't passionate about something, then I should just pause on it and kind of reassess. And then when I have the momentum to keep going and the ideas and the creativity flowing through me, that's when I would pursue it and keep moving. And we're now at that point. I literally woke up one day and was like, I want to bring the podcast back. And actually, I have a ton of ideas. I have a ton of creativity. I have special guests I want to bring on. I have topics I want to talk about. I want to rebrand the whole entire thing so it feels more cohesive, feels more me, feels more boom, whimsical, in your face. I want to add video component, the whole shebang. So that's today's episode. We are talking all things recap of from the last episode to now, how I've changed, how I've evolved, how the podcast has changed. We're talking all things rebrand. We're talking all things resetting my space, your space. Oh my gosh, if only MySpace was still a platform that people used, because I was never a MySpace kid. But I know a lot of people that are older than me loved MySpace. So, but this is MySpace. So, this is the MySpace we have today. And that's how it is. But on What's on My Mind, normally I start every episode with a thought bubble. So today we're kind of going to change it, I think. It's still going to be a thought bubble, but it's going to be more of something physical that I am using, looking at something new I bought. I'm not an overconsumer. I will say there's probably an episode on it from season 1. I'm not an overconsumer. I'm a thrifter. I'm a vintage collector. I do collect a couple of things. As you can see behind me, there are some Disney pins. We will get into that. Disney pins are the thing I've been collecting since I was probably about 10. I actually just posted. I have another. I know it's crazy that I'm saying I have another pin board that's a little bit miniature. So I just posted on my social media that I'm doing pins of the month. So I have my June pins up, and I'll change them out because I have a little jar of pins where a lot of them just sit and they never get to see the light of day because I'm fulled up here. I'm full, and all of my family also have pin boards that are also filled to the brim. But I just love them. I can't get enough. But I digress. So I'm going to show you something every week. And when I have special guests on, I want them to bring something that they've been using, reading, watching, talking about, a product they bought, something that they bought. I'm a big knickknack person and small little trinkets. Who doesn't love a trinket? I mean, literally. And so I have an object for you today. Our object today is something that is crazy that they invented this. I can't believe nobody invented it before. But if anybody is a Disney fairies or Tinkerbell lover and a spiritual girl, I have the new Disney fairies tarot deck and guidebook. You guys, let me just give a little. Yeah. Isn't that just the artwork already is absolutely magical? I'll show you the back. This is what we're looking at right now. There is so much in here. There's a whole guidebook, the artwork. Oh my gosh. We're in a stage where people are actually moving a lot of artwork to AI. And this can be a topic that I talk about because I hate AI. I loathe it. I've never used AI. I don't use Google anymore because of how much AI there is involved. There's a couple of different search engines that you can get on Safari, like DuckDuckGo. You can disable AI. I use Acorja. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but every search that you do, you gain a number of points. And then after you get a number of points, they plant a tree. And you can also, same thing, disable AI so you don't use it at all. That's what I use because I don't want to use AI. I've never used ChatGPT. I don't know how to use it. I'd never plan on using it. I'm an AI hater. So this artwork is amazing. It doesn't look like it was made by AI. So this is the little guidebook that you have. And then this is the back of it. And those of you who watched season 1, I'm a tree lover. Like, tree lover, have a tree tattoo. I talk to trees, I walk with them. It's like part of my spirituality. If that's not your zhuzh, no problem. Just don't yuck my yum. Everybody is different. But so that was super amazing to me. These are what the cards look like. This is how all the cards look on this side, and then they each have something different. Art, let me just give you a moment to take all this in. Absolutely stellar. I also have a fairy wings tattoo, so this is completely up my alley. I haven't actually used them yet. I just got them last night, but this is like the thing I'm obsessing over. Like the artwork. There's so many cards in here, you guys. Like, oh my gosh. Like here we have Vidya on here. All of the cards just fell and just collapsed, but that's okay. Because now I'll show you a couple. So we have the Fool. So if you're into tarot, this is totally something that you can get on board with. Ah, the Lover's card. I haven't read this book, but they do have a book about these two characters out. I forget the actual title of it. I've had it saved in like my what to read next for forever. So maybe this will inspire me to read it, and then I can always do a review for you guys because, oh my gosh, Queen Clarion. I have like figurines of all these fairies. Absolutely amazing. So that's kind of like a thing I've been obsessing about recently. I just got it, but I was like anxiously waiting for it to come in the mail. And so I am just like absolutely so excited to use those. Whether you're into tarot or not, whether you're into spirituality, the artwork alone, the way that they look, the fact that it's like a guidebook, a deck of cards is also just like perfect thing to have. If you're looking to be into tarot at all, I do have an episode from season 1 that's all about like my spirituality and kind of like how I found where I am now and like what I believe in and all of that sort of things. Everybody's different. Um, I do follow more of like the like astrology, crystal, tarot. I think I also have like an oracle deck that's more like foresty nature vibes. So like big mother nature girl over here. So like whatever you're looking at, but that's something that I've been really excited about recently and it finally got here, so I'm so excited. Maybe next episode I'll have to give you guys a little review just like at the beginning if I've used it or not. I'm sure I'm going to use it as soon as this episode is done, but maybe I'll make a little thing for socials if you're interested. And if you're interested, I'll put the link anywhere. If you'd like it, you can always send me a message because you should get your hands on this. Absolutely. Okay, so enough about things that I'm kind of just like using recently. That's kind of something that we'll do at the beginning of the episode. I used to do a thought bubble, which was all about like a thought I was having recently that couldn't be a full length episode. But I think with the amount of creativity and like just like genuine interest I have right now in podcasting, how many podcasts I've been watching over the course of the last 2 years almost when I kind of like was doing my podcast and took a break from it. I feel like I have just like ideas up the wazoo that could be full length episodes. So I don't really feel like I have like a little thought that could spiral into something, but I have so many little items, knickknacks, products, things like that. So I think that's going to be our new kind of like beginning segment. But to get into kind of like the main topic of today's episode, this is recap, rebrand, reset. So, recap, if you don't know who I am, I'll do a little introduction. My name is Sydney. I am a professional dancer, choreographer, dance teacher, and educator, convention and competition judge extraordinaire, whatever you want to call it. Photography, videography, I'm dabbling into some content creation, and I do all of those things. I also do random side work, whether that's like walking a dog, coffee shop, day jobs. I'm in that area of artists. Podcasting is also one of those things that I do. So, yeah, that's kind of like me as a professional, me as career Sydney. Now, who is Sydney as like personal Sydney? Sydney is eccentric. Whimsical is my word of the year. It's been kind of like put into social media pop culture as like the word as well, but like whimsical is my word, you guys. Like I feel like I am whimsical. I try to be as whimsical as I can every single day. We are going to have a series on like how to make your life more whimsical. It's going to be called A Fairy's Guide to Being More Whimsical because I'm a fairy and I'm whimsical. You know what I mean? So that's to come, but just wait. You have to be patient. Okay. So, anyways, that's kind of who I am. I'm eccentric. I'm a Disney lover. I like to travel. I have a lot of long distance friendships that I travel to and see. But I go to Disney. I love to go to Disney multiple times a year. I was just there at the beginning of June with my best friend Emily, who had never, I don't know if never is the right word. I think she had been to Disney, but when the last time she was there, she was young enough and she had gotten sick, like food poisoning or something crazy. So she like didn't really remember it. And that was when we're both the same age, when she was probably under the age of 13. And if you guys know anything about Disney, is that they're changing and evolving all the time. And so a lot of the rides are different. A lot of the like scenery is different. The way that it looks, like even like the entrance to Epcot is just completely different in the last 10 years. So we had so much amazing catching up to do and like showing her the park. So I would love to go to Disney multiple times a year. I love making Disney content. But other than that, I love a little good music session. I like driving around. I like nature. I like to do a craft depending on what it is. My younger sister, Madison, is way more crafty than me. And I went to college with a lot of like artsy, crafty people. I don't consider myself that artsy and crafty. I consider myself artsy and crafty in the ones that I want to do. For example, I love to make photo albums. I like to do a bit of scrapbooking when I have everything that I might need. I just made a shadow box of kind of like memories from me and Emily's trip to Disney World. But I'm not like oh my gosh, I saw this craft, let's immediately go to Michael's. I'm not that person. I have friends who are like crafty, and that's so cool, but I'm just not. I think I'm a little bit more of a lazy girl. I like to watch movies. I like to watch TV. I like to watch a lot of YouTube, which is obviously partly inspired by this. So I like to make little vlogs of my life. I like to collect things. I feel like I'm a little bit fun and out there and eccentric. I feel like there are certain words, like when you're growing up, I used to have to do like the describe yourself in the same letter as your name, like when you're in school. I want to say I always did like spectacular Sydney, but I always wish when I first learned the word eccentric, I always wish I had an E name because my sister's name is Emily. Now my best friend since adulthood, like we met at 18, her name is Emily, but I grew up with so many Emilys. I was like, oh, I wish I was like eccentric Emily or like eccentric Sydney because that describes me so much more than like spectacular or like when I wasn't growing, I was like the shortest person. I was like small. I was like, I just want to be whimsical and eccentric, but I don't have that letter. Well, now I can be whatever I want to be. Boom, roasted. So, anyways, that's kind of who I am in a nutshell. We're kind of doing a bit of a rebrand. So that's kind of our second area of this episode. In the recap, rebrand, reset is like the rebrand of this. I wanted to feel how it feels to me. I feel like I was like just kind of going with the flow and figuring it out as I was creating because I was in this mode. I had saw this quote that was like, just create and put things out there because art needs to be put out in the world. If you keep obsessing about if it's perfect or if it's right or if it's like exactly what you want, it'll never be out there, especially people that have podcasts that are, you know, higher up or like celebrities or influencers that podcast. There's a whole team of people that are doing the branding, the like how it looks, the camera setup, everything. It's just me in my room doing all this, making sure the angle is right. Like even today, hopefully you won't know it in final clips, but I did everything right, but I forgot to charge my camera. So at a certain point, my camera died. I had to charge it and now we had to reset. So it was like, all of those things and their hair and makeup and like the way that they look and their outfit and who's on and like they don't have to coordinate any of that. It's a whole team of people behind it. Whereas like I think the the general population should just like start creating things because I think humans are made to create art. And so the first season I was really just trying to like get things out, like stop being scared of putting art into the world because it might not be exactly what you want or it might be cringe or it might be like not perfect, especially like growing up in the dance world. Dance was all about like ballet is all about being perfect in certain teachers' realms, right? I did not have that experience in college. Into adulthood, I think dance is supposed to look like it's hard at certain times, but certain times it's not supposed to. And so that is that like area of expertise. And I think when it came to the podcast, I just really wanted to like put it out there. So when it came to my socials, I didn't have any video. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of like creating. I had a lot of thoughts and ideas. But it wasn't at the forefront of my mind, whereas now it is. So I wanted to feel this like very whimsical, Disney inspired, like Disney touch, like a hidden Mickey here and there type of Disney inspired. Nature, like, just like lazy girl at home. Sometimes you want to rot in bed, and sometimes also you want to like go on like a 3-mile walk and talk to trees. And like, there's a duality there, but like, I have all these different like arts things. So we're going to talk about arts and seasonal living and mental health and dance. And I have so many fun guest stars that we're going to have on this. And I feel like I was just kind of like flying by the seat of my pants the first time, whereas now I feel like rested and ready and like I know what I want, so I can like really push forward into that. So that's kind of our rebrand, is I want it to feel whimsical, I want it to feel fun and like pop out at you, and like energetic, eccentric, like all of those fun adjectives that I describe myself as and that I know other people describe me as, and I describe my art as, and how I view my room and how I decorate and things like that. I want it to be able to like come into the space and really feel like you're like being welcomed into like a whole universe that's giving you a hug. So that's kind of our rebrand, that I wanted to add video and I wanted to do all these different things. And like, yes, I wanted to talk about different topics, and it's kind of whatever's on my mind, which is like so awesome that it's so open ended. So when I have guests on, which like we're going to have some amazing special guests. I don't want to spoil anything, but we're going to talk about things and then we can relate them into the dance world. But also, some people won't be in the dance world at all. We'll talk about things that are about their life, or I'm going to have a mental health matters segment that like we're going to talk about all those things, and I'm going to have different people on to speak on how it matters to them, and what they're advocating for, or what the impact that certain people have had in the course of their life. So I really want it to feel more like I'm giving something back to the audience every week, and that the topics aren't bland or beige. I want them to feel very like full of life, color, pixie dust, like everything. So that's kind of our rebrand a little bit, which is really fun. The reset is really just me like archiving everything, like literally pressing like the big red reset button and being like, restart, start anew. I feel like I do some segments, like we will have a welcome to summer episode, which will be episode 2, where I talk about my like seasonal living of like, it had such an impact on me and like where I go from it and how I change things about my living space and my daily life and what I listen to that like helps me really take in the season. I live in summer where we have all 4 seasons. I know my fellow Chicago, Illinois people, Midwesterners, are going to say, do we? Because winter is so long that I don't know if we have the rest of them. But I promise you we do. I promise you we do. And if you really like change over when the spring equinox is and the solstice and things like that, that I like to live on those calendars, it really makes me take advantage of the full time of the season. And it helps me like just stay a little bit more present in the everyday life and find the beauty in nature, and also the beauty in like where I'm currently at in the world. I feel like there's a lot of people that look forward to Friday or look towards summer or look towards those things. But then when you're in summer, people are like, oh, I wish it was colder. It's like too hot. I wish it was 75 and sunny. I like want a spring day. But if you had a spring day every day, you'd be like, oh my God, when is it going to chill out a little bit? I want to put on my long sleeve. I want to wear my jacket. Like, I've seen all those people that do that all the time and that are constantly like looking too far forward. And I love this phrase that I saw, that's be where your feet are. That I feel like for seasonal living, for me, it's all about just being present. It's all about just being exactly where you are. Today was super rainy the whole entire day. It's finally at almost 5 o'clock, not raining. It has been downpouring all day. It's a summer storm, and that's just what it is, and that's what the day is like today. So I'm in my little cozy sweater. I have a candle lit. We're doing a podcast. Like, that's just where we're at. And there are some days in summer that's going to be like pool day, whole day, a chicken Caesar salad sandwich, a Diet Coke or Coke Zero, whatever you'd like, and a crisp like lemonade by the pool and some hummus and some chips. Like, it creates a whole aesthetic and vibe. And as a Libra, I love an aesthetic. I love a beauty. I love a vibe. And so I like to do that. I like to reset my space, myself in all of those ways. So we will get into so much of that. But this podcast, I feel like I needed a bit of a reset on. It's kind of like there's a girl on TikTok who tries to do all of her household tasks in the amount of time it takes for her to wash her sheets. And she films herself doing it. And I've been like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing that she's like, my sheets go in, no phone, like put on some music, headphones, whatever you want to do, maybe a podcast, maybe you'll listen to this one. What's on my mind with Sydney? And she tries to get every single thing done in that amount of time, because you still want to live your life, but those things need to get done, but they can get done in kind of a fun way. And then you feel so much better at the end of the day. There have been so many times where I'm like, oh, I came home and I had work and I taught and all these things and I don't want to take a shower. But the second I get in there, I feel so much better. My space feels better when it's cleaner. Is there stuff on the ground right now? Yep. My laptop case, clothes, like this, my tripod case, like everything, right? Pins that I'm still like unpacking from my trip, everything. But when I do that like little reset, whether it's like 10 minutes every day or if it's like when the seasons change or once a week, whatever it is, this podcast needed a little bit of reset because my life needed a little bit of a reset. And this has so much creativity and passion coming from me that I really wanted it to feel like it was clear-headed and going forward. Kind of a whole like your head is clear when your space is clear. That's what I wanted for this podcast. So that's kind of our reset that we're tapping into. So this is kind of our intro episode. Get to know me a little bit more if you've never been here before. Add in all these other elements, like just start anew. I didn't want to continue with season 1 because it was now feels like so long ago. Anybody that's in their 20s or honestly even your teen years as well, and maybe more, I can't speak on above 20s because I'm in my 20s. Every like 3 months feels like a completely different version of yourself. And every single year of my 20s, I feel completely different. So there's no way I could start at season 1 and be like, oh, this is episode 19 or 20 or whatever we were at in season 1, because 2024 Sydney or 2025 Sydney is a completely different person than 2026 Sydney. Like I'm turning 27 this year. Like it's June, I'm turning 27 in the fall. Versus during the podcast, I was 24 turning 25. I am a completely different person. So we had to do a recap, a rebrand, a reset, if you will. That way everybody got to kind of know the new me, who I am, what I'm doing, all of those things. So that's our little intro episode. I mean, recap, rebrand, reset was really just about me coming on here, me getting back into it. As we know about my whole, like, my camera wasn't charged. Like, who am I? If you've never seen me before, you've never seen me from this angle before. This is my little podcast angle. Hey. So I just kind of wanted to do like that synopsis. As regards for the podcast going forward, I want to like give you guys a little sneak peek. I have the first whole like longer than season 1 fully planned. Like that's how prepped, ready, how much creativity is stemming from me right now that I have all of that ready, completely planned. Like episodes, titles, outlines, all of it. I am going to be putting out a newsletter every week with the episode on Substack. So I'll leave like links in all the social media. It'll all make sense. But if there's anything that you want to like talk about, dive into deeper, I'll kind of like write up a little something that like the episode was about and like maybe any further thoughts I have on it, especially like I'm going to write them after. So if I think of anything in the editing process, those will be added to that. But we have some amazing things coming this season. We are going to be talking seasonal living is definitely going to happen. We're going to have some segments like a fairy's guide to being more whimsical, which will happen like we'll have the fall fairy, we'll have the summer fairy, we'll have the winter fairy. So that can kind of be your like seasonal things as well. I'm also going to have a segment called Mental Health Matters, which is where I interview different people that are making an impact in mental health, whether that be in my industry of dance and the performing arts, but as well as just in the mental health industry as well. I think it's super important to talk about mental health, make it more normalized for everyone. So I have some amazing guests that are going to come on. I'm also going to interview different people in my family. So I'm hopefully going to get everybody on. I don't know, but hopefully. I have some exciting things going on this year in terms of like travel and different experiences. So we're going to be talking all things about that as well. If there are any topics that you want me to talk about, though, please leave a comment below. Send me a message, comment on my Instagram, because I would absolutely love to talk about it, whether it's just a little segment at the beginning and the end, or it creates into a full episode. I'm always one for a little bit of spontaneity. My best friend Emily is like winging it, spontaneity. She's like, oh, we're going to pivot completely? Awesome. I'm a little bit more of a planner. I can pivot, I can adjust, I can do all the things, but I do like a plan. So, hey, drop those possible questions or episode topics and I'll work them in somewhere. I promise you, I will work them in somewhere. If you want me to talk about it, I will. So yeah, that's the first episode of What's on My Mind, season 2. the crowd goes wild. But yeah, I can't wait to see you guys next time. I can't wait to talk about all these amazing topics and have some awesome guests on. It's gonna go faster than you think, and the guests will be on boom, 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 boom. So yeah. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you had an amazing time. Follow us on all social media. We have a YouTube channel now, which these episodes are also on as well. So What's on My Mind. Instagram is What's on My Mind _podcast. You can also follow my personal Instagram is Sydney _Fugit. There is a TikTok account for this podcast as well. I'm pretty sure it's just called What's on My Mind. I haven't posted on there, I don't think, ever. I maybe posted one video for season 1. So now that we have video, I'm going to try to be more on TikTok as well because I love TikTok. I know most people do. So yeah, if you're looking for anything and you're looking for a little thing to get yourself, little reminder about my Disney Fairies tarot deck and guidebook because I'm obsessed with it. We can bond over it together. Comment down below if you're going to get it, or if you have a tarot deck, comment down below and let me know what it is, or oracle, because I'm always interested in what people choose and like why they chose it. So yeah, thanks so much, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.